Okay, just confirm me, am I audible? Just confirm me, am I audible and the PPT is visible? Quick, please respond quickly. We have to start and finish the evolution by today. And from tomorrow, we are going to start a new unit, right? See, just tell me, am I clear? Audible, right? Hello? Okay, you have to respond very quickly, okay? Uh, Fine, thank you. We'll start the remaining leftover part of the evolution and we'll solve some of the questions, and we are also going to discuss some of the previous year questions. What are all the questions they have been appeared from the evolution. Okay, so this is somewhat related to the human evolution. And 3 to 6 million years ago, there will be the common ancestor. And what will be their characteristic features will be, they are the split from the common ancestor with chimpanzee and bonobos. Okay. And their geographical location will be the Africa. This is what 6 to 7 million years ago. And 4.4 million years ago, there will be the species named as Ardipithecus ramidus. Okay, and their characteristic features will be they are bipedalism. They are walking in two legs, and they have a reduced brain size and grasping feet. Okay, this is what a characteristic features. Once again, their location will be East Africa. And after that, 3.9 to 2.9 million years ago, the species name is called Australopithecus genus. Okay, and their characteristic features is they are also walking in their two legs. They also have a reduced brain size, and they have a facial features just like an ape. And their location will be they are survived in East and South Africa. See, what are all the things you have to focus here will be the chronological order from which ancestor which is getting evolved. Like, see, there will be the common ancestor, and after that, there will be the evolution of Ardipithecus ramidus. So, this is the thing. And after this, the Australopithecus come into a picture. So, the name of the species is important. Okay, if they have been asked in the chronological order, you have to arrange them correctly. So, that is important. Here, you have to focus that. Now, 2.5 to 1.5 million years ago, there will be the Paranthropus genus. And here, their skull will be a robust skull. And see, before that, their teeth is adopted to the food like hard food. Okay, because they are depending on the animals. They are depending on the hunting animals. So, they have to chew them properly for that they have a long and strong enough teeth. But after that, they are also start to eat some vegetation also, so their tongue and teeth will also adapt to that particular food. Okay, and their location will be East and South Africa. Now, 2.3 to 1.4 million years ago, there will be the evolution of Homo habilis. Okay, here what is their activity? Stone tool making, larger brain, yearly tool use. Okay, see here their brain size will be little bit evolved, little bit larger in size. Okay, in East Africa. And after the Homo habilis, Homo erectus will come into a picture. And here they are using the advanced stone tools, controlled fire. Okay, they can have a knowledge how to use the fire. Okay, and they are the one first migrate out of the Africa, and they are moved into the nearby continent like Asia and Europe. Okay, now after that 6 lakhs to 2 lakh years ago, the name of the species will be Homo heidelbergensis. Okay, here their brain size will also be large, and they are using a well sophisticated tool, and they are their possible ancestor to the Neanderthal. So see, we have studied the Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and after that Neanderthal man, and after that Homo sapiens. This is how we have studied predominantly. But this Neanderthal man is not straight away evolved from the Homo erectus, but there will be the intermediate species which is called as the Homo heidelbergensis. Only from them Neanderthal man will arise. So the ancestor of Neanderthal man will be obviously Homo heidelbergensis. And they are adapted to colder climates, because in Africa there will be the tropical climate. When it moves to the other area like Europe, they are experiencing a colder climate. So this particular species will adapt to that particular environment. Complex tools and symbolic behavior. See, their brain size, they are started to thinking critically. Okay, here in this particular species, and once again Europe and West Africa. And after that, Homo sapiens, we come into a picture. Here, a complex language, advanced tools, art, and global migration. Now, this is the species where we can find them in the worldwide. Okay. Now you have to know what is the difference between the convergent evolution and what is divergent evolution. See, this is the most important phenomena you have to keep in mind. This is an evolutionary process, obviously, and where unrelated species develop similar traits or characteristics due to the environmental pressure or ecological niche. See here, two different species which have no relation at all, but they are acquiring the similar characteristics, and once again they are meeting. That is what a convergent evolution is. Through this particular similar feature, they are evolved from the unrelated species. See, just let me explain you very clearly. See, this will be the species. They have a different ancestor, they have a different they have no relation at all between these two species. There is no relation, but they are having a similar characteristic features. See, they are acquiring the similar characteristic features because of some of the environmental pressure. Okay, so that is what a convergent evolution is. But divergent evolution is, see, here, the related organisms evolve different traits or characteristics, often due to adopting to different environment or ecological rules. See, here there will be the related species. These two are related species, but they are adopting a different characteristic features. Again, to different environment and ecological roles, they are acquiring a different characteristic features and they are getting deviated. This is what a divergent evolution. See, convergent evolution means unrelated species are developing the similar characteristic features between them. That is what a convergent evolution is. Divergent evolution means two related species, they are acquiring a different characteristic features. That is what a divergent evolution is. Now, the best example, see, when it comes to the evolution, non-core data and core data, you have to focus on the example. So it is important because only in that particular examples, a big theory has been built up by the scientist. Now, the convergent evolution, wings of birds, bats, insects for flight. See, they are totally a different classes. Like this birds will be placed under the air category, this bat will be placed under the mammal category, this insects is placed under the arthropod category, but they are acquiring a wings. Okay, but anyhow, birds is the only class which have a well developed and perfect wings, but these are also have the capacity to fly. Okay, so these are all these are all the animals which acquiring the characteristic features similar to both all of these organisms. Okay, so this is what a convergent evolution is. Though they are from the different background, they are acquiring the similar characteristic features. More specifically, rather than the similar characteristic features, they are using that particular structure for the same purpose. Okay, bat using the wings to fly, birds also the same, insects also the same. Okay, they are using that particular structure for the same function. That is what exactly the convergent evolution is. And in the divergent evolution, finches, okay, Darwin's finches in the Galapagos Island. So these finches, they are from the same locality, they are the related organisms, But due to the availability of food sources, see, some of the finches will start to eat the food when it is in the surface. Okay, some of the food which is present in the surface, it is easy to take, so that the beak structure is not that much critical. But some of the finches, they had to take the seed little bit by digging the surface. Okay, for that the beak structure has to be a little bit evolved. Okay, so though they are the related species, based on the availability of food sources, the beak size is getting changed. Okay, that is what a divergent evolution is. And also for convergent evolution, the other example will be body shapes in dolphins, sharks, ichthyosaurus, and for the efficient swimming. So these are all the structure they are adapted for the same purpose, that is for the swimming. And adaptive radiation in mammals is a good example for the divergent evolution actually, because mammals have a common ancestor. See, when I have been explained you the adaptive radiation in mammals, we have a common ancestor, right? And only from that common ancestor, cursorial animal, burrowing animal, climbing animal, walking animal, leaking mammal, like that, based on the environment, they have been adopting a different characteristic features. But initially, the ancestor will be a walking mammal, simply. But after that, a flying mammal, bat has been evolved from that, leaping, fossorial, like all the advantages characteristics have been acquired by that particular organisms, and then they are getting deviated from the common ancestor. That is what a divergent evolution is, right? So this is what a basic difference between convergent and divergent evolution, right? See, what are all the outcomes from this evolution? See, here results in the analogous structure or function. Here, the divergent evolution results in the homologous structure or function. So this will be your key point you have to focus on. See, that have a similar purpose but have a different underlying structures. As I said before, these birds only have a perfect proper wings rather than the bat and the insects. But what they are using for, how these wings are getting used for, only for flying. Okay, so that is what, of course, they have a basic different structures they are using for the similar function. That is what a convergent evolution, it results in the analogous structure, which means what, structure is different but function is similar. Okay, and in homologous structure, they have been varied over time but shared a common ancestor. As I said before, initially mammal have a single walking mammal. We have a single walking ancestor in the mammal, but after that they have been adopted a various structure. Okay, that is what a homologous structure is. Now, of course, if it want to acquire any changes, definitely there will be the changes that has to be done on the molecular level. Okay, I also added some of the other examples also. Kindly go through it. Okay, now what are all the zoo geographical realm of the world? Okay, see, Nearctic, Palearctic, Neotropical, Afrotropical, Indo-Malayan, Australasia, Oceanic, Antarctic, Marine realm. So these are all the realms of the world. Okay, so this is not that much important, but I have added here. Why? Because you have to know what are all the climates and what are all the and which countries cover over under that climate. See, in case of Nearctic, this includes North America and some of the parts, including the Greenland, Mexico, Northern Caribbean islands. Okay, so you have to focus here. What will be the, see, these names are important, and if you can't remember exactly happen, at least you have to remember at least two countries or two continents. Okay, and you have to focus. See, in case of Nearctic, what will be the climate majorly? Temperate and arctic climates, like that. Okay, and in that particular characteristics, which is maximum, like a bird's category is maximum or not, whether the mammal is higher or not, like that, you have to focus here, right? Okay, let me show you how to read these two slides. Okay, see, first thing, that will be the Nearctic, and here what will be the parts which is covering under this climate means Northern America, Greenland, parts of Mexico, Northern Caribbean islands. Here the temperature will be temperate climate and Arctic climate. And here we can find the mammalian fauna, diversity of mammals we can see in this particular climate. Okay. And you don't want to read these examples and all. Okay. Don't worry about that. And Palearctic, here Europe, Asia, and Northern Africa. We can find the mammals. Besides the mammals, we can also find the birds, larger herbivores who are adapted to live in the cold winters and seasonal changes, right? And neotropical, this is the area related to the Central and South America, including the Caribbean islands. And here it will be the tropical rainforest where we can find the diversity of birds and the mammal species. And in the alphotropical, we know that Africa is always having the tropical climate. It is very extremely hot. And that will be the sub-Saharan Africa. We know that Sahara is a hot desert, and Madagascar and some of the other islands. So we can find here the large diversity of wildlife, including the large mammals like elephants, lions, giraffes, and endemic species like lemurs in Madagascar. Let me ask you a question. What is endemic species? What is endemic species? It is more precisely that particular organisms. It is present only in that particular area. Okay. Yeah. The word, yeah, that is called as an endemic species, and extinct means it is completely void. Okay, it is not present in the world at anywhere. That is what extinct. Endemic means this is a species where we can find only in the Western Ghats or Eastern Ghats, only in that particular locality that a species can be found. That is what an endemic species. Okay, so some of the endemic species will also be present here. So all these things, see, endemic species and diversity, these are all the things which decide whether that particular area is a hotspot or not. Okay, fine. Indo-Malayan, this is the South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Southern China. So these are all the areas which cover under the Indo-Malayan, because we covering the India and Malaysia. Okay, that region will be that. And definitely our climate will be we have a lot of variety of organisms and tropical rainforest, and we are also coming under the tropical climate, temperate climate also. Okay. Australasia, we know that these are all the area, Australia, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, and some of the neighboring islands in the Pacific Ocean. Here we can find the marsupials. See, when you heard about the name Australia, you have to know marsupials. This kangaroo species can be found only in the Australia. This variety of kangaroo can be seen there, right? Now, some of the endemic reptiles and amphibians is also there. And these are all the area which is covering under the Australasia. Now, oceanic region. Oceanic region is somewhat related to the ocean, that is specifically the Pacific Ocean. Hawaii, Polynesia, and Micronesia. So these are all the islands which is present in the Pacific Ocean. There also we can find the different species. See, we can find the endemic reptiles and the amphibians, marine biodiversity, because as it is an ocean, there will be a lot of species it will be the plant species or animal species, but we can find a large variety. Okay. Now, Antarctic region, yeah, that will be the region. Obviously, that will be the cold environment. Here, they will be adapted to the marine life. And here, terrestrial biodiversity. Okay, as it is a colder climate, trees we can't compare the colder environment and hotter environment, because in the hot environment, in the tropical climate, we have a rich biodiversity. When compared to the colder climate, when compared to the fall in temperature region, extremely the polar region, when we compare this tropical and the polar region, where we can find the large biodiversity means, obviously you should choose the tropical area. Okay, so this can also be asked in the question. Okay, then marine realms, diverse marine life, variety of ecosystems can be seen, and we are also find here the coral reef. Okay, migratory species and vital fishery sources. As it is marine, We have a fisheries resources also, right? Okay, that's all about the topic in the evolution. So we'll solve some of the questions. Okay, what is the primary mechanism of evolution proposed by Charles Darwin? That will be obviously the natural selection. Which scientists independently developed a theory of evolution through natural selection? The Alfred Russel Wallace. Okay, and along with the Charles Darwin, they independently conceived the theory of evolution by the natural selection. Right? Which term describes the process where a single species diverges into a multiple species, each adapted to different ecological niche. See, here they are asking a single species, they are getting diverged into a multiple species based on the different ecological niche. And what will be the name of that radiation or evolution? Okay, is that option A? See, don't give me a wrong answer for this question. Okay, I have explained you very clearly, and it is a simple concept. Also, you don't want to take this much time. That will be the adaptive radiation. Why you people didn't answer for this question? See, in case of a convergent evolution, there will be the two unrelated species. They are acquiring a similar characteristic features and they are entering into the same ecological niche. Okay, that is what a convergent evolution is. And through the common ancestor, by acquiring a different characteristic features according to the different ecological niche, it will be developed into a different species, but they are sharing a common ancestor. That is what an adaptive radiation and divergent evolution is. Everybody clear, right? What is the study of the distribution of species and ecosystem across geographic space through geological time? That will be the biogeography. See, it examines a spatial distribution of organisms and processes that shape their distribution over time, including evolutionary factors and historical events. Now, which type of evolution involves unrelated species developing similar traits due to similar environmental pressures? Give me the correct answer for this question. Quick. I hope everybody clear with the difference between the convergent evolution and divergent evolution, right? So this answer will be the convergent evolution. Okay, good. Which concept describes the change in allele frequencies of a population over the generation? Over the generation, they are keep on stressing on change in the allele frequencies in a population. And what is the concept? Has been explained very clearly in yesterday's class. Also, I have give a very good notes also. That will be obviously the genetic drift. Very good. Okay. And that genetic, when it comes to the genetic drift, you should know certain keywords. It will be the random change in the allelic frequencies of the population over the time due to the chance events, which means chance events means what? It is not knowingly doing. Okay, it is unknowingly causing some of the changes, right? And particularly in the small population. Okay, this small population, that will be the random change, right, over a period of time leads to the genetic divergence. Now, what is the term for the process by which new species arise from the existing species? Here, there will be a formation of newer species from the existing species. That will be the speciation, okay? Here, that will be the evolutionary process by which the new biological arise. It involves splitting of single evolutionary lineage into two or more genetically distinct lineages, okay? Which scientist proposed the theory of inheritance of acquired characters, later known as Lamarckism? Is what? Jean Baptiste Lamarck. Okay, what is the name of the theory proposed by Lamarck? What is the theory? What is the other name? We can call it that use and disuse theory. Okay, if a particular organism, if it uses a particular organ, only then it will pass that trait to the next generation. If it is not lost for many generations, obviously at one particular time it will be lost in the young progeny also. That is what a Lamarck theory is, use and disuse theory. Right now, which zoological concept influenced Charles Darwin's understanding of gradual change over long periods? Here, that will be the gradual change over a longer period. And that concept is influencing Charles Darwin's understanding. What is that? That will be uniformitarianism. Why? Because in case of a punctuated equilibrium, you have to know that will be the rapid change. The changes will be rapid. But in the phyletic gradualism, the changes are gradual. Okay, you should know the difference between these two terminologies. That will be entirely different. And here, this uniformitarianism, it is the posits that the same geological process that shapes the Earth's surface today has been occurring throughout the Earth's history. That influences Darwin's views on the gradualism, that is phyletic gradualism, right? Now, which type of selection favors individuals of both extremes of traits range, reducing genetic diversity in a population? Don't make a mistake in this question. This is the most important concept where you can find questions very often. When you see this question, you have to remember this graph also. In this particular graph, here the intermediate structure is getting selected. Okay, this selection prefers the development of intermediary characters, and in this graph, either of the extreme characters is going to fit under this selection. In this graph, both the extremes is going to adopted by that particular individual. But here they are asking which type of selection favors individuals at both extremes of traits range, reducing the genetic diversity in a population. And why you have said destabilizing selection? Just explain it. You should not make a mistake in these type of questions. See, when it comes to the ecology and evolution, there are a lot to read. But if you read a certain concepts, you can't miss that question. Okay. So when it comes to the evolution and ecology, if you read this most selected topics, we can get a question from those topics. So like that, this is also one of the topic. Okay. But what is the question asked here? Here, in this selection, it favors the individuals at both extremes. Does it ask it favors the intermediary characteristics like that? Here, the answer will be disruptive selection. See, you know the meaning, but you have been given the wrong answer. Why is that so? You should not make a mistake in these type. Hope, see, this will be the, what this picture depicted. Which selection is this graph? Which selection is this graph? Which favoring either of the extreme characteristics. What is the name of the selection? Whether it will be the disruptive or directional selection? Why I'm asking is I want to know that whether you are okay with the concept or not. What is meant by disruptive selection? Here, see, this will be the directional selection. In case of, see, let me explain you very clearly. Disruptive selection favors individuals at both the ends of the phenotypic range, which means what? Here in the disruptive selection, they are favoring both the characteristics. This will be the extreme. They are favoring both the extremes. In the directional, they are favoring either this extreme or okay. There will be the difference between these two graphs, right? I hope everybody clear with these things. Okay, fine. And if you find any difficulty, just ask me if you have any doubts, right? Which type of mutation provides the raw material for evolution by creating new genetic variation in a populations? Which mutation? That will be a beneficial mutation, obviously. Okay. Um, Here, this is the mutation in the DNA. They are increasing the organism's fitness. Okay, only then it leads to a evolutionary change. And this mutation has been happened a lot. You know the history, right? Now, which anatomical structures or remnants of functional structures in ancestral species but no longer serves as a clear purpose in the organisms? And what is the name of the structure? Hmm. Good, very good. That will be the vestigial structures. Okay. So That is a structure, this is an anatomical feature that diminished in the size or the function, and after some time it lost its importance, and those structure is called as the vestigial structures. Okay. Which a scientist proposed that natural selection is a primary mechanism of evolution. That will be Charles Darwin, and his book will be The Origin of Species. Also remember the name of the book, okay? Okay. Which term describes the study of formation and development of species? That will be speciation. And which concept suggests that similar structure in different species share a common evolutionary origin? See, we have 3 more minutes. In that 3 minutes, I have to show you the PYQ also. So please be quick, okay? Which concept here? It is a similar structure in different species share a common evolutionary origin. That will be the homologous structure. Very good. Ontogeny recapitulates its evolutionary history. That is phylogeny. We can simply answer like that. Ontogeny repeats phylogeny. What will be the name of the theory? I have been explained you this theory, right, in the core data. Give me a correct answer. Very good. That will be the recapitulation theory. Super. Which process describes the exchange of genes between populations of the same species, potentially leading to genetic homogenization? Quick, 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 quick. I have to show the PYQ. Okay, that will be a genetic flow. See how the question have been arised here. I want to show. See, there will be no much questions from evolution. See, which of the following is not concerned with the speciation process? Okay, so these statements, any of the statements will not related to the speciation process, and you have to choose which is not fit for this speciation. Two identical populations genetically diverge to a point at which their subsequent merger will not occur. Pre-mating isolating mechanisms promote divergence of population. Post-mating isolating mechanisms that ensures population divergence. Mechanisms that promote gene exchange between the populations. Okay, we have no time to discuss this question. We'll stop up to this, and for tomorrow we are going to start the developmental biology and just read and come the spermatogenesis and the oogenesis. Okay, so this is what your homework for tomorrow. Okay, and if you have any doubts, you can post it in the group. I'll explain. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.